Should you freeze your credit reports if you aren't planning on applying for anything? I hate to break it to you, but even if you aren't planning on applying for anything, you're still at risk. So stick around because I'm going to let you in on a secret that will save you from all sorts of headaches down the road. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What is freezing your credit reports and what are the benefits? Freezing or placing a security freeze on your credit reports prevents prospective creditors from accessing your credit file. In other words, it prevents prospective creditors from seeing your credit history, which includes your credit accounts, credit limit, payment history, credit utilization, and more. And this can be helpful in preventing identity theft and fraud. Now, there are two types of freezes: a temporary freeze and a permanent freeze. With a temporary freeze, you choose when your reports are frozen and for how long. A permanent freeze, also known as a permanent security freeze, is, well, as the name suggests, permanent. But don't worry, you can always lift that freeze later on if you change your mind. So, now that you know what a credit freeze does, let's talk about why you should consider doing it even if you aren't planning on applying for new credit anytime soon. The biggest reason is that you're simply not taking any chances. Even if you aren't planning on applying for credit anytime soon, circumstances can change. Maybe you want to buy a house or a car, or you want to get a new cell phone contract, or maybe you're planning on switching employers, and your new employer requires a credit check. Whatever the reason, by freezing your credit reports, you're ensuring that you won't be turned down for the opportunity due to a lapse in your credit history. Another great reason to freeze your credit reports is that it's free. Yeah, you heard me right. Free. There is no cost to placing or lifting a freeze on your credit reports, so there's really no reason not to do it. And then there's also the fact that it helps silence the scammers. You know those annoying robocalls that never seem to stop no matter how many times you answer and say, "Do not call me"? Well, when you freeze your credit reports, you put an end to those calls. Scammers use your personal information to commit fraud, which often includes opening new credit accounts in your name. And those new accounts usually start with a balance transfer or a credit card with a small credit limit. By freezing your credit reports, you make it difficult for scammers to open accounts in your name since they won't be able to access your credit reports. As a result, you'll probably see a decrease in the number of calls you receive from debt collectors trying to reach you and your family. Super annoying, especially when you block them and they keep calling. One thing to keep in mind is that when you freeze your credit reports, you won't be able to open any new accounts until the freeze is lifted. However, you can temporarily lift the freeze for a specific period of time if you know you'll need to apply for credit. And while a credit freeze can help prevent the opening of new accounts in your name, it won't affect accounts that are already in your name. That's why it's also important to regularly review your credit reports for any signs of identity theft, such as accounts that you don't recognize. If you do spot any accounts that you don't recognize, you'll want to report them to the credit bureaus right away. And here's a quick tip from my team. If you're concerned about identity theft but aren't quite ready to freeze your credit reports, you can always sign up for a credit monitoring service. Credit monitoring services can help you stay on top of any suspicious activity by alerting you when someone tries to access your credit reports. Some services even offer features like scans for your social security number and other identifying information that can be helpful too. So there you have it. 3 great reasons why you should freeze your credit reports, even if you aren't planning on applying for anything anytime soon. By freezing your credit reports, you're protecting yourself from identity theft and fraud, saving yourself time and money, and silencing those annoying robocalls. So do yourself a favor and freeze your credit reports today. You can even set up alerts to be notified when someone tries to access your credit reports. Better yet, why not take both steps? Sign up for a credit monitoring service and freeze your credit reports. That way, you'll be covered in all areas of credit protection. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more tips and advice.